Deranged son turned murderer. Nick Browning, an ordinary teenager hailing from a financially privileged family, led what appeared to be a content and harmonious life. However, everything took a dramatic turn after he attended a sleepover at a friend's house. From that night onward, their lives would never be the same. When Nick and his friends returned to his home, they immediately sensed that something was terribly amiss. At first glance, the house appeared to have been broken into, but the horrifying truth they were about to uncover went far beyond their wildest imagination. These four 15-year-olds, Ryan Fingal, Taylor Tewksbury, Alexander Smith, and Nicholas Browning, had spent the Saturday afternoon of February 2, 2008, at the mall before being dropped off at Nick's residence in an affluent Baltimore suburb of Cockeysville, Maryland. Upon arrival, the boys couldn't help but notice that a door to the Brownings' house had been carelessly left unlocked, and the scene inside hinted at a possible robbery. As they entered the house, their worst fears were confirmed. Nick's father, John Browning, a well-respected attorney, lay dead, having been shot while he slept on the sofa. Their grim discovery didn't end there. Nick's mother, Tamara, and his two younger brothers, 13-year-old Gregory and 11-year-old Benjamin, had all met the same tragic fate, shot while they lay sleeping in their bedrooms. The police were promptly called, and the four traumatized boys were brought to the police station to provide statements about the harrowing discovery. They were separated into different interrogation rooms, awaiting the arrival of a detective to question them. Nick's three friends held critical roles as witnesses, having been present when the Browning family was found dead, and they had spent the majority of the evening and the following day with Nick. The interrogation changed everything. Shortly after its commencement, the detective became suspicious of Nick's friends. He immediately sensed that they were keeping something hidden and insisted that they needed to have a conversation.
Tell me what's happened the last day and a half. What was going on and last night? I guess you can start tomorrow. Yesterday afternoon.
Came up from school, 2:45, then thought about going to the basketball game, but then ended up...
At Delaney or?
Delaney basketball game. Thought about going there.
Okay.
Then we decided to skip that for a bunch of reasons. Then we went to Ryan Fingal's house.
Okay.
They were just hanging out there. Went outside for a little bit,
What were you doing at Ryan's house?
Yeah, Ryan.
What were you doing there?
Played some Xbox a little bit.
Okay. I don't know. I know the address. Where does Ryan live?
Do you know Springdale?
Yeah, I know where the pool and stuff is.
Right, it's in that neighborhood.
Okay.
You guys spent the entire evening together yesterday?
Yes.
Did you actually leave the house at all last night?
Just walk around the neighborhood.
Okay. How far do you live from where he lives?
Half a mile.
Half a mile? Did you guys go over there?
No.
Did he?
Yes.
What time did he go over there?
Like 12:30.
Last night?
Yes.
What did he go home for?
Truthfully, we were going to just take his car out.
I'm sorry, what was his name?
Nick Browning. Just take his car out for a little drive.
Okay. Did you guys do that?
No.
All of you were there?
Yes. Nick said that he was there. That when he got there, the lights were still on.
Okay.
And so he just was in the car, and he said he fell asleep. Like 3 hours later, or how many hours later, Alex called him and see where he was. He's like, oh, I fell asleep in the car, and then he came back to my house.
So basically after that, when I woke up, started watching this TV.
So you fell asleep?
Yeah, I woke back up around 12 and went to bed. Went to an actual bed. I was on the couch.
Okay.
Chair.
Woke up around midnight?
Yeah.
What bed did you go to?
I went into his brother's room, and then...
Was Joe there?
Joe, no, he was not there.
Where's he?
He was at a friend's house.
Okay. So you went in Joe's room?
Yeah, and then the parents had friends over, and they weren't going to sleep there. Then they did.
The friends of the Fingals did?
Yeah, they're friends. So they came into Joe's room to sleep. So I had to get up, went down to the basement, and slept on the futon.
What time was that? About? Do you remember?
I don't know what time that was. It was probably 1:30 maybe.
When you woke up to go to Joe's room, where were all the other boys?
They were sleeping on the couch next to me and up in his room.
Okay. Was Nick there?
Yes.
You sure? That's real important.
No, I don't think he was.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, no.
He wasn't there.
He went out, I think.
One of the boys informed the detective that Nick had left the house in the middle of the night. Before the interrogation, Nick was behaving strangely. He even fell asleep and didn't show any emotion, like shedding a tear for his lost family.
We haven't figured out by now something really serious has happened to the Browning family. You're 15 years old. I need you to be 100% honest. The other boys have been honest with me. You can't take up and lie. Okay?
Yes.
By telling him that the other boys have been honest with me, the detective is trying to ensure that Alex is telling the truth. If he thinks that the other boys told the detective everything, he'll feel pressured to do the same. If he denies something, but the other boys say it happened, he might be afraid he'll get in trouble with the police.
I'm going to ask you to take me through the last 28, 29 hours, what's been going on. So you guys, from what I know, Paul spent the night over at things, right?
Yes.
What did you guys do from there?
Alex begins to give his account of the previous night, which seems to be consistent with Taylor's account.
Well, we slept there, and in the morning,
You're skipping over a lot, okay?
What?
I want you to take it slow and not skip out stuff, okay?
Alright.
So last night you guys went there.
Yeah.
What did you guys do while you were there?
We ordered food from Georgia's and watched Smoking Aces and Accepted and ran around outside a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we basically just all went to sleep
Okay. Where were you guys watching TV and stuff? What room of the house?
in the living room.
Were Ryan's parents around?
Yes.
Was there other people there too?
Yes.
Ryan's parents?
Friends.
Gotcha. Who else was in the living room with you?
Nick.
Who else? Did Ryan go up to his room?
Yeah, Ryan went up to his room, and Taylor went up to Ryan's brother's room, and then moved downstairs.
Okay. Why did Taylor have to go downstairs?
Because Ryan's parents' friends were sleeping in his room.
Okay. Are you sure you've been 100%? Is there something you should be telling me? Because I'm not telling you how important this is right now. Is there something you think?
Actually, he told me that he was going to go out, but he didn't tell me where he really was going.
Okay.
He said,
Taylor, I appreciate this. I mean, this is.
he said he was going to go out. I mean, I don't know. He said he was going to go out, and then.
What did he tell you about that? He was going out to do what?
I don't know.
He told you something. Well,
I don't know. He said he was going to go, and he said he was going to, like, since he got like his license, he said he might go and take the car, but he ended up
take his parents' car.
It was his car. He just told me he's going. He's going might take the car. He went
Did he
there.
say where we was going to go with the car?
No, he did not. He said he's going to, and next thing I knew it. I mean, woke up, and he said fell asleep or whatever.
Okay.
So he said fell asleep in his car, and he came. Then he walked back, I guess, or biked. I don't know which one he did.
Okay.
And that's.
Okay. I'm gonna let you think for a little bit, and I'm gonna come back in and talk to you. Okay.
Alright.
You need anything?
No.
Nick then described why he returned to take the car. When he was alone, Taylor appeared uncomfortable and shaken by the situation.
At around 1:30, stupid me, I went back to my house to try to get the car.
Okay.
And the keys were, where my parents were, the lights were on in the house. And the keys were, where my parents were, the lights were on in the house. So I didn't want to take the car out, so because the lights were on, I was sort of worried. And so I went in the car and started yelling, they'll go to bed in a half hour and the lights will be off. So I was sitting there and I fall asleep. Then I get a call from Alex around, I think, 5 in the morning.
Okay.
And then it wakes me up, and then I slept in the car and the lights are still on in the house.
Okay.
And it doesn't make sense now, but,
Okay. So what did you do then?
I walked back home.
Okay.
Just like, it's 5 in the morning.
Okay. So did you ever get inside to get the keys at all, or?
No, I went in that car, but never inside the house.
Okay. Okay. Did you walk back to Ryan's house?
That, and I got there.
How far is it?
It's a hike. It's probably like a 20-minute walk. So.
Okay. So you and Nick slept in the living room?
Yes.
You're 100% sure? You need to be perfectly honest with me. That Nick was in there with you?
Yes.
The whole night?
Yes.
Okay. I'm having 2 people tell me he left the house. This is a murder investigation. 4 people have been murdered tonight. You don't want to start lying to me right now. I will drag you down with this if you start lying with me. You need to tell me 100% truth. I already know he's left the house. I already know why he left the house.
Yes, he left.
Tell me what happened.
Well, Nick was leaving the house because he was going to take his car out.
So when did he tell you that he was going to go over there?
He said he was going to leave at 12:45.
What were you guys going to do? Drive around?
Yeah, just drive around.
Do you have anybody to go visit girls or anything like that?
No, they were just going to drive around.
Okay. What happened after that?
Well, I fell asleep around 1.
Okay.
And then...
You stayed in that living room?
Yes, and then I woke up around 5, and I called Nick to see where he was, because he said he was going to come back and wake me up when he had the car, but he never called, so I called him. He said he was walking back to Ryan's, and he was lost, and I told him how to get him. And he said he was going to go in the house and get the keys, then he fell asleep in the car. I understand. He said for about 3 hours, I guess.
Then what happened? What'd you
We went upstairs. We ate breakfast or lunch. Lunch. And then, let's see, Nick went upstairs to take a shower.
And then what happened?
When Mr. Pat came, Alex drove us back to Nick's house because we were going to go there for the night. And he went inside. I don't know, when we were waiting, he was worried because he said, he was calling him all morning. So he started calling him at 11. And he was worried. He kept on calling all the phones, leaving messages, and no one picked up. He was getting worried, and because he said that his mom was gonna pick him up at 9 to clean the house, 9 in the morning, and she never did, I guess. And he was calling, and I don't know. I guess he just assumed they're out somewhere.
And then we got no. And in the course of this, I've been calling my parents all day, and they hadn't picked up. So
from the cell phone?
So originally from Ryan's house phone, and then my phone a bunch of times.
Okay.
The detective was puzzled by how relaxed Nick appeared about the whole situation. Taylor described how he had been worried about his parents in the morning. Ryan also mentioned that they hadn't called Nick at all, which they used to do frequently before.
Any idea what happened?
Me, Taylor, Nick, and Alex were at the mall. We came home. Mr. Pat drove us to Nick's house because we were going to be there tonight because they were all at my house last night.
Okay.
And when we got there, Nick was already worried because Nick's parents always call him and stuff and check in, and they haven't since. He hasn't talked to him since 6 yesterday.
Okay.
And he's getting all worried. So when we got back there, he was just all sketched out about stuff.
So you guys get to back home. What happened then?
Then I opened the garage door. I walk inside.
How did you open the garage door? How do you do that?
That's a code.
Is there? Oh, okay. For the outdoor code, right?
The keypad.
Garage door opens or something. Okay.
And so I walked inside, and then the door was unlocked, which was weird because one of my parents locked the door.
Which door? The door in the
door into the garage.
Kitchen.
Into the kitchen.
Okay, from the garage to the kitchen.
That was locked, so I figured it would be locked, but it wasn't. So I walked in, and I saw my father on the couch, and that's sort of okay.
What did you see about that? I know stuff, but what did you see?
I saw he was on the couch, and there was blood coming down his face.
Okay, what did you do after that?
Then we talked to Mr. Smith, and he came in the house, and he called 911, and I went upstairs with the rest of my mother and my 2 brothers. I saw them.
Okay.
We discovered his dad on the couch, bloody. His face was really pale. And then we got Mr. Pat, who was about to drive away. He came in, and then he pushed us away from, the dad. So Nick went upstairs, found his mom in the master bedroom, and his 2 brothers in their bedroom, all bloody. And I was up there too with him, and Alex was down the hall, and I just took Nick and just brought him outside.
Okay.
I just stayed right by the stairs when you walk in. I didn't want to see anything.
Okay.
And Nick just said he saw blood on him. And then right as my dad was pulling off, I stopped him.
Did you see his dad or anything?
Yeah, I saw him on the couch. So I ran outside and got Mr. Smith.
Okay.
And he came in, he's yelling. He's John, you okay? And so I gave Mr. Pat the home phone, and he called 911. And Nick went upstairs and looked, and his brothers in mom's room, and they had like blood on them.
You said Nick ran upstairs? Is that what you said?
Nick went upstairs.
Nick went upstairs?
Yeah. He wanted to see where everyone else was. So then we all went outside when Mr. Pat was on the phone.
When you went outside, where'd you go?
We stood behind Mr. Pat's truck.
Did you guys go to the back of the house at all?
Yes. We all ran around back.
What'd you see back there?
We were going to see if there's any signs down there. So he opened the door and he saw the Xbox and his...
Who's he? I'm sorry.
Nick.
Okay.
He saw the Xbox and the Wii, like, on top of each other on the pool table.
The detective then inquired if Nick's grandpa would come to get him if they contacted him. Now let's observe Nick's reaction.
Is there everybody else in your family?
No, that's it.
Okay. How about grandfather or grandmother? Your grandfather lives
in Deep Creek.
Does he live there or is he just there for the
He
weekend?
lives there full time, and my grandmother lives in Ellicott City.
How old is he? Your granddad?
73.
Because I want him to come. If I asked him to come here for you, would you do that? Would he?
Oh, they come down. It just take about 3 hours.
I understand. But
Right.
when you come down. All right, let me work on that real quick.
Okay.
And I'll come back and talk to him a little bit. Okay? You need anything else?
Some food would be nice.
Food is it? Check our restaurant here. It's all we eat junk food here. Is that okay?
It's fine.
How about some drink?
Soda would be great.
You say anything to you about anything? Has he had any issues with his parents lately?
Not that I know. I mean, I think he got in trouble like once or twice because of drinking.
Did you see a gun with Nick at all last night? Did you have a gun?
No.
Are you sure?
Not that I saw. I did not see him.
Did you say or talk about a gun last night?
No.
Are you 100% positive?
Yes.
Okay.
Did not talk about it.
Have you touched a gun in the last 24 hours?
I touched an airsoft gun.
No, a real gun.
No.
All right. Has Nick ever said anything about his parents abusing or mistreating him or anything like that?
Nope.
My partner ran out to get food, so I've got some time. Hey, like it there?
Good.
Yeah.
Good high school.
Yeah. Good student or?
Yeah, good student.
Like what kind of good student? How's your golf team?
Good. We won counties and then lost regionals, but yeah, good team.
Talk about your dad. What do you do for a living?
Lawyer.
What kind of lawyer?
Worked right in Towson.
What firm? What was
Worked
it?
in Marlon McLean Reed.
What do they do? What kind of law?
He's a business lawyer.
Oh, mom.
She had a property management sort of side business, more of a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, that's cool. Cool. You get along with them okay?
Yeah, great.
I'm just trying to get to know.
Right.
Got any enemies or anything? Enemies or problems or problems at work?
No, I don't think so.
Even though his entire family had just been killed, Nick was laughing casually. To get a better understanding of Nick's thought process, the detective asked if there was something he could help with, and Nick requested food. But it was only at this point that the actual interrogation started.
Hey, Nick, this is my partner.
Hi, nice to meet you.
I've been a cop a long time. I'm in homicide. Been here a while. Stuff's just not adding up for me right now with you, okay?
Okay.
Tell me why your dad was so pissed at you yesterday.
Wasn't mad.
All your friends are saying that your father was uncharacteristically livid with you yesterday.
I mean, he asked he wanted to see the parents around me. But anyway,
What now?
He asked when he dropped me off at Fingal's house, he went to the door and made sure the parents were around.
Okay. But everybody's saying that he was ticked off. What was he mad about?
He wasn't mad.
Is there a reason they would say that?
What?
Is there a reason that they would say something like that?
He's never nice though, I don't think.
That's not, they said it was uncharacteristic for him, that usually when he does see them, he's always pleasant. That's why this particular moment stood out to them.
Well, I mean, they didn't see him. There was one person, Ryan Fingal's saw them, so I'm not sure what they're basing their experience.
I'm just telling you what they're saying.
They didn't see him except for Ryan.
Okay. So you're saying he wasn't upset?
No, and even if he was, they wouldn't have seen him. So
Okay.
it all would have come through me. So.
All right.
But Nick, things aren't adding up here. I don't understand some things that happened here tonight. I think you had something to do with what happened tonight. I think that you killed your family. And the thing is, the more you lie, the deeper it gets. There's got to be a reason why you did this. Your family. We need to know what happened here. Look at this. There were happier times.
Nobody broke into the house last night.
Didn't kill.
Yeah, it had to be you. Nobody else did this. You know where we found the keys for the gun locker?
Where?
You tell me. You know where they are.
We searched the house.
Yeah, you do. They're under your mattress. In your room. On the right side of the bed. You put them there.
Nobody broke into this house. You went into that house. You called and had your brother leave the door open. There's no other explanation.
Yes, you
did. And the more you lie, the deeper it's going to get for you. You're 15 years old. You really do still have a life ahead of you. But the more you lie, the deeper it gets for you.
I mean, do you want people to look at you as a cold-blooded killer? Or somebody that just made a mistake? Nobody else did it. Tell me how the keys got under your mattress. Nobody broke into your house. They killed your family.
The only gun missing is a 9mm. Why? Was it your father?
I didn't kill him.
You did. You killed your family. Why did you call your father Adolf Hitler?
He's strict. I mean, that's just a joke. My mom just called him Hitler before.
How else could this happen, other than you? It was. And saying no, it wasn't, isn't going to make it go away. Right now, you're a man. You've got to fess up to this.
I couldn't do it.
You did do it. As we speak, we're developing more and more evidence that you did this. There's no other explanation for what. There's no other explanation for what we're finding, other than that you did it.
What evidence is it that I did it?
You'll see. You'll see.
Yes, you did.
You lied to us. You lied to us about you contacting your brother. You lied to us about the keys.
I never lied about contacting my brother. I told you that.
He only told me after I pointed it out to you that you did it.
I didn't.
And the keys to the gun locker are in your bed, or under your bed. There's no other explanation. Nobody broke into this house. It was you. You left your friends. What happened? Why? Explain to us why this would have happened.
There's no reason for me to kill. I love them. They provide me with everything I want.
But they were strict.
Now the two detectives started to become tough with Nick. His mood changed rapidly, and he even hesitated when denying any involvement in the killings. From that point on, it was mainly the detectives attempting to make Nick admit his involvement, but he didn't confess just yet. They tried to pressure him by claiming they found the keys under his bed, but Nick's response was also strong. Nick cautiously tries to deny the detective's assertion that he had the keys to the gun safe under his mattress. He isn't challenging the detectives, and even apologizes when he slightly interrupts one of them. At this point, his composed attitude has disappeared. The detective was getting frustrated as they put more pressure on Nick.
Your brothers didn't do it. A burglar didn't do it.
How can you say that?
I can tell, buddy. This is what I do for a living. I've been doing it for 22 years. You know how many burglaries I've been to? You know how many homicides I've been to? I sit here every day talking to people just like you. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And this just goes on and on and on. And you did do it. If you didn't do it, you wouldn't be sitting here. I'm telling you right now. Nobody broke into that house.
How can you be so sure?
I'm positive. I'm 100% positive that nobody broke into that house. I've been to plenty of burglaries. I know what a burglar looks like. When you walk into a home and the house has been burglarized. Your house wasn't burglarized.
This was no burglary.
Nobody broke in. Nobody went in there and killed your family. You did it. You had a reason to do it. Yeah, you did.
What would my reason be?
Your father was pissed at you last night. Maybe he didn't like your lifestyle. I don't know.
How could I not like my lifestyle? I go up to my summer house for 2 weekends. I get whatever I want. I get it. I mean,
people do it every day. Why do people walk into schools and shoot all their friends?
Because they're picked on. They don't enjoy it. I enjoy my life a lot.
Okay.
This
Again, I know people that love their children. They kill their children. People love their babies, but they kill their babies. People kill other human beings. This isn't an armed robbery. This wasn't a burglary.
By your whole family being dead, you make out the most. I'm sure your father was well insured. Your mom was well insured. Now everything's yours. So you coldly killed your parents? And there's got to be another reason why you did this other than insurance money. That's the way you're going to be looked at. The 7 to 15-year-old killed his family for money.
I didn't kill my family.
Yeah, you did. We're going to do this all night, man. It wasn't anybody else but you. Yeah, you did. I'm telling you, you did.
Everything about it, the way you act, you're acting as if you're a guilty man. We've interviewed hundreds of people in these rooms. Hundreds of people. And they all fit your mold.
What is that mold?
The more you lie, the deeper it gets. The fact about the keys.
I mean, do you really want me to believe that someone broke into your house, found the keys to the gun locker, which you said you didn't know where they were, opened the gun locker?
They didn't. I know they didn't.
Let me finish.
Sorry.
Let me finish. Or took your dad's gun off his workbench and methodically went through the house and killed everybody in the house, then walked into your bedroom and stuck the keys under your mattress?
There's multiple sets of keys.
What are they doing under your mattress? Do you want me to believe that somebody did that?
No,
do you believe that?
I didn't put them under a mattress. That makes no sense.
They're there.
There's multiple sets of keys.
The keys are under your mattress.
There's one set of keys.
The keys are under your mattress. Do you want me to believe that someone walked into that house, kills your entire family, and then just happens to put the keys under your mattress? The gun
was out. I didn't need the keys.
Okay, I'm telling you. Do you want me to believe that?
But it wouldn't make any sense for me to even touch the keys.
Do you want me to believe that?
But that's not even, the keys aren't, for this to happen or whatever, it wasn't even necessary.
Okay, but the keys are under your mattress. If your parents didn't want you to have the keys, would they hide them under your mattress? I don't think so. Do you want me to believe that someone broke in, kills your entire family, shoots 2 small children, and then decides they're going to put the keys under your mattress? It doesn't make sense, does it?
It doesn't.
Do you want me to believe that someone would break into a house and not take anything? Doesn't make sense, does it? There's a reason that you break into a house. And that's to take valuables. And it's fairly obvious from where your father's found, your mother, and your 2 brothers, nobody confronted the burglar and said, "Get out of my house," and they got shot for that reason. Your family members were executed. And you did it. Yes, you did. No doubt in my mind.
There won't be a doubt in the jury's mind either. The only question is why. That's the only question they're going to have. It's up to you to explain.
There's a reason for everything. I mean, something triggered this.
We've heard a lot of stuff.
And that's understandable. And people understand that when you make an explanation. And as I told you earlier, people do this every day. And again, they love their babies, they love their children, they love their wives, husbands. But sometimes people snap. And it happens. Something happened. It wasn't the burglar.
Help us understand.
Nothing made me snap.
I don't know, bud. I'll be back.
The detectives return about 10 minutes later.
Why are you telling us this big story about going the keys when the keys are in the pocket of your jacket?
But,
The car keys.
yes.
You had them the whole time?
Mm-hmm. I realize that no more. As my friends didn't tell you that.
Again, an untruth. Why did you do this? You keep saying that.
Who did it?
How
Who would do it? What kind of person would do this?
I don't know.
What part of what we're saying don't you understand? Is there
I
anything?
don't see how one set of keys to.
Why are they under your bed?
My parents, if they want me to, to get, if this is a burglar, to get
Come
the
on.
keys.
That's
Come on. You're gonna have to do better than that.
So what's the threat here? If you take this to trial, I'm going to go to jail based on a set of keys.
No, that's not just a set of keys. There's a lot more than that.
What?
I'm not gonna sit here and tell
we
you
don't
everything.
do that.
I think I didn't do it. There's gonna be other evidence.
You did do it.
I didn't do it.
Nobody else did this.
How can you be so certain?
Because I've been a cop for 22 years and my intuition's pretty good. I've been to plenty of homicide scenes. I've been to plenty of burglaries. This wasn't a burglary. You're being given a chance to explain things. It happened for a reason.
There's no reason.
You just didn't? Yeah, you did. You did. No doubt in my mind. You did this. Who else would do it?
I don't know.
Drug murderers don't shoot children.
The detectives tried various tactics to make Nick confess. First, they said his friends had told the police that his dad was mad at him. Then they showed him a family photo to stir his emotions. They also pointed out the lies he'd already told. They asked if he cared about his image and wanted to give a reason for the killing, so he wouldn't seem like a cold-hearted killer. None of these tactics worked. When Nick was arrested and handcuffed, it likely scared him and made him realize the seriousness of his situation. Leaving him alone afterward was a strategy to increase his stress and pressure him to confess. Nick fell asleep while alone, and about 40 minutes later, the door woke him up. The first detective returned to the room alone, likely trying to be the good cop. He removed the handcuffs, hoping that Nick might be more honest with him, thinking he was on his side.
You know what to do. That's the problem. That's why you were gone for so long.
You spent those hours concocting some silly story. The jury's gonna see right through.
Not a story.
Well, maybe you didn't do that, but you didn't know what to do. I mean, you're claiming that you wake up and all the lights are on. But you know that something's wrong.
Why didn't you go in? You knew the back door was open.
I never saw the lights were on. The lights in my parents' bedroom.
You said earlier that all of the lights were on. You fell asleep, you woke up, all of the lights were still on.
I said my parents' bedroom lights were on.
You said all the lights. You did.
The keys were, where my parents were, the lights were on in the house. The lights were on in the house.
This is the problem. You can't keep track of what you're saying now. You can't keep track of what you're saying.
You can't keep track of it.
You asked me where my parents' bedroom was.
You haven't shed one tear for your family.
You were totally unemotional about this. You walk into a house, your whole family's murdered, and you're just, I didn't do it. Why would I do it? I was in my friend's house.
So crying would make you believe that?
I think you're trying to convince yourself. You're doing a terrible job of convincing me.
I have to convince you.
Yeah, you do. Believe it or not, you do.
You've already made your mind. I couldn't.
You did this. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Afraid it is. Okay. Well, you know what? You're under arrest.
Okay.
Or counts of first degree murder.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Okay.
Nick, I'm just trying to help you out. I'm trying to figure out what happened here. I mean, this is a horrible tragedy. You know that.
I didn't know.
We know that all the lights off were in the house. All the lights were off. There were no lights on in the house when you went there.
But, I mean,
See, all these little lies, all these untruths.
all right. But maybe I talked wrong, but I mean, I know that light was on. Forget what I said,
Okay, I understand.
I mean, that light, I know that was on. What do you want me to say?
I want to know why. I want to know why.
If there's a reason, I still go to jail. I mean,
but you understand, there are mitigating factors in the world. There's a cold-blooded killer, and there's a reason why people do things. And there are differences. There's differences in the way things are perceived, the way people hear things. Yeah, inevitably, it could determine the way you live out your life. Yeah. You can live it out as a cold-blooded killer who just killed 4 members of family, first-degree murder, or maybe there was a reason. However, whatever it might be, there may be a reason. He's still going to jail.
In this part, the detective employs a technique called mitigating circumstances, or alternatives. He starts to clarify that people have reasons for their actions, and sometimes these reasons affect the suspect's situation. This is done to encourage the suspect to confess more easily and feel less criticized. It also makes the suspect think that perhaps their actions are justified, or at least somewhat understandable. Even if the suspects lie about their motives, the police will still have a recorded confession to the crime.
But why? If there's an explanation, people want to hear this. People don't want to shut off a 15-year-old kid. They want to know why. Father was beating him or abusing, maybe not physically abusing him, degrading him. We know he was overly hard on you. We already know that. But you did. And that's just it. The jury's just going to hear, I didn't do it though. I didn't do it though. I'm not a hard ass. I'm just trying to find out what happened here.
and you give me the option of, you can feel better about yourself and still go to jail. Or I didn't do it. So far as what you told me, I really honestly think you have the key. The key means nothing.
Oh, it means a lot.
To an experienced officer, maybe, but to jury.
So you're playing it on your mind right now. How am I going to beat this jury? I've got the jury beat. Not in Baltimore County, you don't.
You've given me the option of going to jail, feeling good to myself, 100%. Or...
How long are you going to go to jail for?
What?
The rest of your life? Or is there a mitigating factor of what happened here?
There's not.
Then why did you do it?
I didn't do it. But regardless, there's no mitigating factor.
See, that's the horrible thing about this then. All they're left with is you shooting 4 people. I can't go over it. I can't go over a piece of evidence. You'll see that in discovery months, maybe a year down the line, after you've been sitting in BCDC for that whole time, the detention center.
And if I gave a reason, I'd still be sitting in that same detention center.
I don't know. Is there a mental issue? Is there something going on here?
So then I commit myself to a mental hospital for the rest of my life. Right?
I don't know. That's just it. I don't know. I don't know the reason. I can't guess. I can't fathom why this happened. But I'm sure there's a reason. Because I can't imagine in my world that someone would kill their mother, father, and their 2 little brothers. But maybe there is a reason. It's not up to me to tell the jury the reason.
Now the detective is delving deeper into the alternative approach of the read technique. He's laying out 2 options. One is that Nick is a heartless murderer, and the other is that there's a reason behind his actions. The detective hopes that Nick will choose the less morally wrong option, as it's less intimidating for him to admit to it. The detective will emphasize the differences between the two options until Nick agrees to the less evil one, which is essentially an admission of guilt either way. Slowly, Nick was breaking down.
I'm not here to bullshit you. You may think that. That's fine.
But you're trying to bullshit me. It doesn't seem, say some reason doesn't seem to be very compelling, because I'm still going to jail regardless. But if I take it to court, and what if I win? Then
That's a heck of a gamble, isn't it? But the rest of your life is a heck of a gamble.
But as opposed to what? It's not
To a lesser amount of time?
a lesser amount of time, but if it's still 30 years, that's my life.
But what if it's not? What if it's a mitigating factor strong enough?
There's no mitigating factor, though.
See, there is. So you're trying to play it in your head. I know you. I know what you're doing here. I know, maybe not know you, but I know the type of person. Because I've seen the person here in the same exact seat before.
There's no mitigating factor.
Look, you want someone to come here and promise you, well, because I was mentally abused, that's why I did this. I'm only going to give you 5 years. That's what you want, right? That's what you want. But I can't give it to you right now. I can't say that. But I can certainly take what you tell me and give it to the right people. This is it. After this, there's no more me. There's no more mouthpiece for you right now. This ends when I leave. You're a good kid.
I'm reaching this. I'm trying to get there.
I can tell you care. That's just it. I can tell you care. I can tell you feel what you did. You see, this is the first time. The first genuine emotion I've seen all night is coming now. What happened? Nick, what happened?
Nick was preparing to admit his guilt, but he didn't display any regret.
I can tell you didn't plan this. Is it because you're a father?
Yeah, the straw. Yeah.
But why? Was it physical?
No, it's more sort of like a blast. Probably so. I mean, it wasn't. They were physical. I'm in Boy Scouts, right? And excuse me.
It's okay, man.
So there's this. I'm almost Eagle. I'm almost done.
You're getting life,
right? Life Scout. And then there's this leadership weekend camp out, whatever thing, and
where was it?
This was Brownsea, somewhere up in Africa. But anyways, I didn't want to go. I'm almost done. Didn't think I need a leadership camp, so my attitude wasn't great on the trip.
You got pissed?
So he got pissed, and as we're coming home, he hits me.
Was he beating on you too, mentally, or?
It was mentally, and it's like he got me a times, and that was the.
You're at Life Scout, you're at Life Scout, for God's sakes.
And so that was sort of the beginning, the beginning of it, and it's just.
How long ago was that?
That was this fall.
Okay.
Last fall, and then
You kept it up there.
It kept going, and the little thing just seemed to always reverted back to that one thing, and then the alcohol thing happened. Then they called me taking out the car.
Oh, you got a call before?
Yeah, I got a call before.
He threatened to keep it away from you?
Right. And,
but the whole time your grades are good? Everything else is?
Grades were good. And last freshman year, I got a D one quarter, but then I got an A the next quarter, so I got a B as well. So that
But he's harping on the D.
Right, harping on the D, and then he did occasionally hit. I wouldn't have called it huge physical beating, but I think
It's still uncalled for.
Right, the emotional, I think. The hit, when he hit me, didn't bother me. It was the constant.
Did he do it in front of your friends too?
Never the hitting, but the yelling and the anger.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. And And then for my birthday, which is a couple days away, we were supposed to take friends up to Deep Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And this last weekend, he was uptight as usual. And
Did he drink or anything? Or?
no, it was never really alcohol. It was just he's overstressed, I think.
Okay.
You know, he works. I mean, he gets up at 5 in the morning and comes home at 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, the confession came. The detective managed to make Nick admit to what he did. Nick goes on to explain that his father was not only abusive to him, but also to his mother. From the looks of it, it appears that Nick didn't plan to kill his family, so premeditated murder is ruled out.
So then he sort of has Phil being nice to all his clients when he gets home. Takes it out, you know, dinner not almost, but most nights.
Is he doing the same to your brothers? Or just you?
Maybe, but I didn't.
No.
It didn't seem like that to me, but.
To your mother at all?
Yeah, but a little bit. But the bulk seemed to be generated towards me.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday night, he was just mad. I don't even know why he was mad. And then I was giving directions how to get to Fingal's house.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
lost it?
blows out or something. It didn't hit me. He just gets really angry. And I mean, we didn't even get lost. He went 2 feet past a turn and just had to make a tight turn.
Come back.
And then you have to put the car in reverse. He got really angry. And then I went back to get the car. And I saw him sitting on the couch. The TV was on. And I knew the gun was out on the workshop bench.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
I walked up. I sat there for a half hour.
He was sleeping?
Yeah, standing over him. And then I went between putting the gun up to his head and pulling it back down and up.
Do you have a pillow up too? Or?
No, just the gun. The gun was. I'm not sure if I meant to pull the trigger or if it
Just went off?
It just. And then once that happened, I freaked out, and I thought, they'd all come down, but I don't even know if they woke up or whatever, but so I sat on the couch and they were up, and I realized I couldn't just walk away from that. And then I shot my mom, and then
She's still sleeping?
yeah, I waited for a little bit, then I think she went back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I shot her, and then I shot her come back.
Why the brothers, man?
I thought no one was there to say anything that my story would go because I was the only one. I just got scared. I didn't want this to happen.
That's the only true emotion you're showing right now. I just gotta feel at least a little better. I need to know where the gun is, though. We can't have it out there.
It's on Sherwood Road. I'll explain it on the map or whatever.
You may have to take us there.
Sure, it's fine.
Is it?
Maybe it's in bushes.
You can point out to where it is?
Yeah, definitely.
Once the detective obtained Nick's complete confession, he provided him with food and soda. That marked the conclusion of the interrogation. In 2009, Nick Browning pleaded guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder and received a sentence of 4 life terms in prison, meaning he would never be released. Nick's disturbing and disconnected behavior from reality was difficult to fathom for a 15-year-old. Towards the end, he began crying, but it's possible it was because he knew he had been caught. If you want to watch more shocking interrogations, please subscribe to the channel.